Blessings, namaste, beautiful souls. So we are still focusing on our hips and pelvis. We're working towards Hanumanasana, also known as the splits. And also because we do tend to hold a lot of tension in our hips and pelvis. If you imagine, we spend a lot of time sitting to one degree or another. And so when you're in this position for a long time, you're literally shortening this area. Where years ago now, I got hit by a car, broke my leg. I was in plaster cast from like thigh to toe for 6 weeks. And when I had the plaster took off, first thing I wanted to do was like that, but I couldn't get any further than that because the tendons had become so tight from being straight for so long. And it took me months of learning to loosen the tendons up. And so, you know, if you imagine how much time we spend sitting at a table, on the sofa, in the car, at a desk, you know, it's no wonder we're kind of so tight around our hips and pelvis. So we're going to continue doing a little bit of work to loosen that up. And as I've mentioned before, working on our hips can often release some emotions, because when we're a bit emotional, we tend to kind of cramp up and tense up, and emotions are like chemical cocktail moving through the body, and we need to release it, you know, so otherwise it becomes stuck in the body. And that's why sometimes when we stretch, we can end up feeling like, why am I feeling pissed off, or why am I feeling, you know, like crying? And it's because we're kind of like releasing those emotions. So just standing up, feet kind of comfortably apart, and just soften or close your eyes to take a moment and check in. Simply noticing how you're feeling this moment in time, and no judgment, no criticism, no wishing anything were different. Just simply being present. So not worrying about what you might have to do later, you know, not worrying about what you did yesterday, just being completely present, filling the body with breath on the inhale, emptying completely on the exhale. So inhaling roots to crown, exhaling crown to roots. And gently opening your eyes and keeping your feet not too much wider than hip width to start with. Hands on the waist, and draw a nice slow big circle. Almost if you're drawing a circle with your tailbone. So you can imagine you've got a paintbrush or a pencil on your tailbone, and imagine drawing a circle, taking nice deep breaths as you do that. And then going around the other way. So maybe going slower than you normally would, just feeling into, and you might feel a bit of movement in your hip joints. Then coming back to center, just heel toe the feet out a little bit further, toes still pointing forward. And again, drawing a big circle. I start to feel it more, so it's a little bit tighter with the feet wider. So again, noticing how it feels as you take the feet wider and changing direction. So does it feel like kind of a smooth circle, or does it feel like you're kind of like going a little bit clunky in certain areas? Does it feel different in one direction to the other, for example? And come back, then maybe try taking the feet a little bit wider. And again, circle, and noticing how it feels. Make sure you're breathing, make sure you're not holding your breath. You're right, Miss Lulu. And round the other way, she's kind of looking at me kind of strange. And then coming back to center, keeping the toes point forward to start with. Just inhale, a little squat. So if you're about to sit down in a chair, exhale as you come back up. Make sure your knees are tracking over your toes. And then lift back up. This time, inhale, reach the arms forward. Exhale, press them back, opening up the chest. Try and press into all four corners of your feet. And keep your shoulders relaxed. Then come up, keep your hands on your waist. You're going to lift the ball of your right foot and just turn it out about 45 degrees, so not too far. But I want you to feel and imagine that you're turning out from your thigh, so all the way up. So rather than just taking the foot out, imagine turning, rotating. In fact, you can do that a couple of times. Just kind of like turn that whole leg. And so just turn it out about 45 degrees, then pop the foot down, pressing into all four corners of the feet. And do the same on the other side. Lift the ball of the foot, and again, just kind of like turn it a couple of times, but really feel and imagine that again the movement is coming from your hips all the way up. And take it out about 45 degrees. Press into the outside edge. So even here, you should already start to feel a bit of a stretch around the hips and groin. Tuck your tailbone under slightly, draw your belly button in, and try and keep your shoulders over your hips. Imagine you're gently gripping with your feet as if you're trying to pick something up with your feet. You're going to inhale, come down. As you come down, imagine sending your knees over your toes. Press the knees out and exhale. Push the floor away. Inhale. Bend. Exhale up. So we're going straight up and down rather than tipping forward. You can bring the arms up. Inhale, bring the palms to touch. And exhale, lower the arms down. Breathing in and out. Engage those inner thighs. So really try and press the knees out over your toes. Squeezing your glutes. And this time come down. And we're going to shift from side to side. But notice I'm coming across and over. So rather than coming up and across, I want you to stay on one level. So you inhale through the squat and exhale, take the weight over to the other side, straightening the outside leg. So inhale through squat, exhale over the other side. So notice about the height of my head. I'm not going any higher or lower. Spine nice and upright. Breathing in and out. In. Okay, keep pressing the knees out, don't let them drop in and out. Then come back to center. Inhale, imagine trying to touch the floor without tipping forward. So you might not be touching the floor, I'm not quite touching the floor. Then exhale, stretch into a starfish. So inhale, bend, looking forward, not down. Exhale, reach to the corners. Breathing in and out. And in and out. Release the arms, heel toe the feet in. Notice how it feels when you come in. Take the weight onto one foot. You can use the wall if you need to. We're going to do a slow kind of half circle. You're going to open that knee out. Woo, not like that. And I'm just kind of like almost take it back behind you. Then reverse it. Bring it up, back and around. I'm going to turn to the side. So you can use the wall if you need to, or a chair. So taking it out and around, almost like tapping it down behind you. Then inhale up and exhale back and down. So really slow and controlled. So we're working the muscles. Or as you've heard me say before, we need to work on strength, not just stretching. So if all we do is stretch, then you can end up like, say, stretching elastic band. So your relationship loses its elasticity. Shift to the other side. So inhale up and over. Exhale out and down. And reversing it. Breathing in and out. So when we're going slowly, we can't use momentum. So we're working the muscles on both legs. Similar to when we did last week with the circle on our hands and knees. Same kind of principle. It's just we're standing. And bring that foot down. And come down onto the floor. Bring the soles of the feet together. How close or how far away you have them is up to you. Try and wrap your hands around your feet and do large butterfly wings. Now I want you to imagine you're trying to squeeze the knees in and then you're trying to press them down towards the floor. So big movements. Breathing in and breathing out. So again, really using inner thighs. As I always use the analogy of elastic band. So you imagine a nice, strong elastic band. But if you keep stretching, sooner or later it'll either break or it'll just become really unelastic. So you always want to focus on strengthening the body as well as stretching. So you want to try and work all the muscles around the hip sockets, as well as stretching them out. And nice deep breaths in and out. Now you can do the little butterfly pulses. Inhale, little pulses. As you exhale, use your arms to pull your nose towards your toes. Then inhale, bounce, 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 bounce. Exhale, stretch. And again, just focus on where you feel the stretch rather than, even if it feels like you're not moving very far forward, it doesn't matter. One more, inhale, bounce. Exhale, stretch. Then come back, bring the knees in and take the feet so they're at least mat width apart. Hands are behind you. So you're kind of like lifting up out of the waist. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, just drop one knee. And imagine trying to press that knee down towards the floor without collapsing in the chest. Don't worry if it doesn't go all the way to the floor. Inhale, open. Exhale, press the other knee. So again, you're rotating the thigh bone in the hip socket. So keeping the chest lifted, so don't worry if it doesn't go all the way to the floor. But you need the feet at least mat width apart, otherwise if the feet are too close, there won't be enough room for you to drop your knee. Then you can just stay with that, or you can take both knees, again, lift up through the chest, puff the chest out. Inhale, center, exhale. Again, press the knees down, lift through the chest. Breathing in and out. In and out. Option, if you wish, as you drop one knee, turn through the upper body as if you're coming to a kind of pigeon variation. Inhale, back, exhale, and take your time, really don't rush. So we're trying to keep the chest lifted and not collapse the waist, but also keep the thighs relaxed, so we don't want to bring tension into the hip joints. It's also come to my attention that we really do need to work on the stretching out the quads as well. Come back to the center, bring the legs in. We're going to come over onto the belly. Now if you've got a belt handy, I didn't think of this earlier, but if you have a belt handy, grab one. or whatever you can use as a belt, just in case you need it. And then bring yourself down onto your belly into like a kind of Sphinx pose. So legs are about hip width apart, elbows under your shoulders, and just press down. I want you to imagine stretching right from the top of your head down the front of your body all the way down to your big toes. It's not just about stretching the quads, front of the thighs. I want you to imagine stretching the whole of the front of the body and then allowing your pelvis to kind of open out and melt down into the floor. And again, you're stretching all along the front of your body, all the way down to your big toe. Now just kind of imagine melting or pressing your pubic bone down into the floor. And get a sense of your pubic bone and your hip bone, allowing the front of the thigh to melt down into the floor. So energize those legs if you're trying to press the tops of the feet into the floor. And gently pressing into the arms, so giving it that Sphinx shape. So elbows nice and narrow. And keeping your hip bones, because sometimes what happens when we try and stretch the quad, what I often see with people is we kind of like cramp up like that, or the knee goes out to the side. So I want you to try and really focus on keeping the front of the body lengthened. So slowly bend your right knee and feel the front of the thigh lengthening. Keep pressing your pubic bone down into the floor. So to start with, that's all you're going to do. You're going to actively try and press that foot heel towards your butt, even if it's not quite there yet. So rather than just lifting it up and going, try and really press it towards your bum and press your pubic bone down to the floor, still focusing on that stretch in the whole of the front of the body. Then slowly lower that side down. And keep pubic bone, front of the body relaxed. Slowly start to lift your left heel. Again, feel as if the front of the thigh is lengthening without cramping in the middle. Press your belly towards the floor. You can imagine drawing that heel towards your butt. Taking nice deep breaths, keeping those shoulders relaxed. Energy in both legs. And slowly release. Then bring your left arm across in front of you. The same kind of thing. Really press your pubic bone. Actively press pubic bone down to the floor. Stretch your feet as if you're trying to lengthen the legs. Bend your right leg, bring the heel as close as you can. Now only if you can reach back without the knee going out, or without lifting up, or without doing this kind of thing. If not, you can try grabbing your belt and wrapping it around your ankle and either holding on to the belt like this, or bring the hand to the floor in front of you until you can relax the front of that thigh. So if you're finding it difficult to relax, then maybe hold on to it. So here I can adjust the belt like that. I can draw it closer here without reaching back, so I can stretch out the front of the thigh without tensing the shoulders. So again, both hip bones press down into the floor. Nice deep breaths. And if it makes you feel any better, a lot of people struggle with this. It looks quite simple, but a lot of people struggle. That's why we need to do some work on quads, which we will be doing. Then gently release. Release that leg, release the belt if you're using it. Slowly lower the leg down. And bring your right arm across in front of you. Again, slowly bend the left leg, pressing thigh, pubic bone down into the floor. And if you can't easily grab the ankle, then just wrap the belt around your ankle rather than your foot. Again, easier, bring the hand back so you can relax. Again, you can still, the thing about the belt is you can still move the foot here with both elbows on the floor, chest is forward so we're not kind of twisting off to the side, shoulders relaxed, breathe into it. Still got energy in both legs, so press your straight leg down into the floor as well. And gently release that belt. Now we can do like a quad stretch, so just watch first. So I'm going to show you both sides, we're going to do it together. So we're going to take the arms out to the side, I'm going to turn my head to the right, arms are out, I'm going to bend that right knee and I'm going to try and take the foot up and over. It may touch the floor, it may not. I may even be able to reach it with my hand. So I'll show you on the other side. So turn the other way and turn left. I lift my left foot up and over as if I'm aiming towards the hand. I say again, I might be able to grab the foot, I might not. Stretching the front of the thigh. So we're going to start with the right side, so turn the head to the right. Bend that right leg, lift it up as if usually we do like a shoulder stretch, don't we? We do this kind of thing where we take the arm back like that, or we're stretching out, focusing on the stretch in the shoulder. And you're still getting a stretch in the shoulder. So you can take that foot back. You can either just leave it here, or again, you might be able to reach it in that hand. Almost like doing a kind of dancer's pose on our side. So again, push your butt forward, stretch the front of your hip flexors and breathe fully and completely. And gently release, come back, switch sides, turn the head the other way, taking that left leg up and across just as far as you can. Again, you might be able to grab hold of it. If not, just take it up and over. Breathe, stretching out the front of the thigh. Release, come back to center. Bring your hands either side of the chest. Inhale, lift the belly, lift the hips. Exhale, reverse, press up. Sit back and stretch towards the heels. Curl yourself up, bring your legs out and around. And grab your belt, have it handy, lay yourself down on your back and feel like your spine is melting down into the floor. Allow your tailbone to relax down into the floor. And again, imagine if you do Pilates, like that kind of powerhouse Keeping your pelvis nice and straight, nice and level. And just drawing the right knee in, holding on, just be kind of behind that thigh. Hug and release a couple of times and feel or visualize stretching the muscles alongside the spine as well as everything else. And then slowly straightening that leg into a hamstring stretch. And just ease and release a couple of times. So as you exhale, stretch a little bit further. As you inhale, release it a little bit. So don't be too much of a rush to grab the foot, because then we tend to tense the shoulders or lift the tailbone off the floor. So only walk your hands up gradually when you can keep everything else nice and still. Remember, when it's warm, and it is warm, you often tend to stretch a little bit more easily. You can stay here, or maybe you can try wrapping your first two fingers around your big toe, or you can hook the belt over that foot. And pressing down into the left thigh, slowly stretch that left leg out, flex the foot. Imagine you're standing, imagine you're stood on that left foot, so you're really going to energize that leg, and take the left arm out to the side. Either stay here or inhale as you exhale. Slowly take the leg out to the side. And say slowly so you don't end up tipping over. And push through both heels. So you're pressing the left thigh down into the floor and pushing through that right heel, reaching the left arm out to the side. Take another breath in. As you breathe out, slowly bring that leg back. Bring the left foot back to the floor. Release the belt and bring the foot back. Again, just noticing how the body feels right now. And drawing the left knee in. Again, just hug and release a couple of times. Try and relax the leg. Feel that stretch in the back of the body. And breathe in. As you breathe out, slowly straighten that leg and try and press your lower back down into the floor. So there's no rush. No rush to reach the foot or to, so the shoulders tense off and all that kind of stuff. You may stay here, or you might try wrapping the first 2 fingers around your big toe, or again you can use the belt. Slide the right leg out, press it down, so it's an active stretch. Even though we're on the floor, it's a very active stretch. Push that leg down, push through the heel, push the left heel up. Draw the shoulder back towards you. Full deep breaths. You either stay here or slowly open that leg out to the side so you don't tip over, and really keep pressing the right leg down. Open the right arm out again. So if you're standing, imagine standing on your right foot. And slowly bring that leg back, bring that right foot back to the floor first, and then release. And then bring yourself into a comfortable position, grabbing any props that you may need. Taking your time to settle into a place that is comfortable. I'm going to go through a mindfulness meditation or relaxation, very short mindfulness body scan meditation, intended to help you enter into a state of deep relaxation. So it's important to remember not to try to relax, because sometimes this will just create tension. So what I invite you to do instead is just be aware of each passing moment and just accepting whatever is happening within you and just seeing it as it is. So letting go of the tendency of wanting things to be different from how they are now, and just allow things to be exactly as you find them. So just watch the activity of your mind, letting go of any judgmental or critical thoughts when they arise, and just doing as the exercise guides you to, and the best that you can. So with your eyes closed and your body still, just bring your attention to the fact that you are breathing. So not trying to change or control your breath in any way, but simply experiencing it, witnessing it as the air moves in and out of your body. So noticing your abdomen and just feeling the sensations there as the breath comes into your body and your abdomen gently expands with each breath. And noticing your belly deflate as the breath flows back out of the body. Just following the rhythmic movement of each breath. So the rising of your belly on the in-breath, and on each out-breath, just letting go, letting your body become heavy as it sinks a little bit deeper into relaxation. then just bringing your attention to your feet. And just becoming aware of whatever sensations are there or lack of sensations. So if you're registering a blank as you tune in, then just experiencing nothing, no thing. What does that no thing feel like? And as you breathe in, imagine your breath moving all the way down to your feet. And then when you reach your feet, begin your out breath and let it move all the way up your body and out of your nose. So that you're breathing in from your nose and breathing out from your feet. And becoming aware too of your shins and calf muscles. The sensations in the lower legs, not just on the surface, but right down into the bones, into the blood vessels. Experiencing and accepting whatever you feel here, and just breathing into it, and then breathing out from it. And letting go of your legs as you relax down into the floor. Moving into your thighs. Breathing into and out from the thighs. And letting your attention move up into your pelvis from one hip to the other. Noticing your buttock muscles in contact with the floor. Becoming aware of your groin, your pelvis, and breathing with the entirety of your pelvis. So as you breathe out, moving the breath back up through your body and out through your nose, letting your pelvis soften and releasing all tension as you sink even deeper into a state of relaxed awareness and stillness. And just allow your attention to move up through your abdomen, through and around your inner organs, and along the length of your spine. Moving up into your ribs, up into your shoulders and collarbones. And feeling your awareness flow down through your arms, through your elbows, through your wrists, into the tips of your fingers. So breathing from your nose all the way down into the tips of your fingers, and exhaling from the tips of your fingers up and out through your nose. And then being aware up through your neck, your throat, into your mouth, your teeth, your jaw, your ears, your eyes, your nose, your forehead. Being aware of your whole body. feeling your whole body pulsating with life, with energy, feeling revitalized and energized. And when you feel ready, and if you're not ready just yet, that's okay, stay where you are, but when you feel ready, starting to stretch out your arms and legs, and moving in whatever way feels good for you. And gently bringing yourself back up to sitting. And when you arrive, bringing your hands together, hands to heart, heart to hands. Take a little bow to honor yourself and to seal your practice. Namaste. Toishniya Tom Syaktar Yasini Nanakatarisha. Love and light to you. Any questions, any comments, please feel free to ask. Namaste.